that year I lost my weight was the best year of my life. I had so much fun that year. Like I had so much fun doing
did we?
things I never did.
With you. Hi, Jaylene.
Yeah.
Tell us your name. This is Jaylene Welch. Tell us your name and your experience with me and Mind Body Fit Club.
Hi, I'm Jaylene Welch. I joined the Mind Body Fit Club program in 2010 after trying many other programs through the years, and had the most amazing year of my life in which I lost over 100 pounds and have kept it off for 7 years now.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. I think that's the best part. Honestly, we did have such a great time.
Yeah.
You know, we met up in person. We ran 5Ks, 10Ks, events together, half marathons.
Yeah.
And all the other ladies that are in the club joined in. But I think what's remarkable about you is that you have kept the weight off. I love that. Will you just briefly share with us your history and what you feel led you to carrying extra pounds in the first place for so many years?
Oh, I just had so much emotional baggage that I had never dealt with. I had been sexually abused as a kid, that I wanted to hide in that body. I was hiding in that overweight body because I did not want to feel attractive to people. And it was fear. I was afraid of being attractive, which wasn't still, I was still attractive overweight. It was just an excuse, you know, it was just an excuse to not, because I didn't feel good about myself. The Mind Body Fit Club program helped me to feel good about myself. It was self-confidence building. And initially is what got me the radiate confidence. I literally felt like I grew taller because I started standing. I felt good, and I started projecting that out. People started noticing my eyes. Like no one ever commented about my eyes, and I think it was because I was ashamed and I looked down for a long time. And the confidence building gave me this amazing feeling that it came out of me, and I felt empowered.
I love that. You know, it's interesting because I know you're such a smiley, like, kind of person, and kind and lighthearted. That's just your personality. And I would imagine that's how you were all those years. Like, you always said that you had a smile on your face, but people didn't know the pain.
I was crying on the inside. I was literally crying on the inside. I faked it until I made it for 42 years. And I tried all those diets. I tried Weight Watchers. I tried Jenny Craig, Lindora, Slim Fast. I wired my jaw shut. None of that did any of the internal work for me to help me figure out, you know, like why I binge eat when I'm upset. Why do I, you know, just try to stuff those feelings down, you know, like all the bad eating habits that I had, just a lot of bad eating habits. It got a lot of moments where I was like, oh my gosh, that's why I do that. Like, that's why I do that, you know, that I never even picked up on before.
The dots together.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, the associations, that's a big part of what we teach and learn in the Mind Body Fit Club, is your subconscious associations with food. I always tell your story, actually, in many of the talks that I give around the world, because I love your story about in the Mind Body Fit Club. You realized your association with peanuts specifically.
I love peanuts. And so growing up, when I was a little kid, I would go to my grandparents' house, and that was my safe place. Getting away from what was going on in my home, I would go to my grandma and grandpa's house, and my grandpa always had a jar of Planters peanuts on his nightstand. And so I think, like, that was a safe place for me, and it was a good place for me. And those those memories, like even when I was going through other counseling that I had done, my happy place, my safe place, when I was talking about things that had happened to me in my past, I created a safe place, and that safe place was in the kitchen with my grandma. She was making me Mickey Mouse pancakes. Pop had his peanuts. Like, it was all of those safe things had some food associated around them, you know?
Yeah. So isn't it amazing that then if you are going to try to deprive yourself of food, if we go on a diet, then we instantly get super motivated to not eat certain foods.
Right.
And imagine if you were to then not eat the foods that you love, that you associate with being safe, then you're essentially taking away your safety.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
And
a very emotional.
it was, but I find it that, you know, once I have recognized something, you know what I mean? Like, once I get that, oh, that's why I do it. It makes it a lot harder for me to continue doing it because I become aware of it. So when I do it, I'm aware of it. I'm choosing to do it, or I just choose to not do it a lot more often than not, you know.
Sure.
But it's definitely a choice. Like, I've made it a choice. It's not an unconscious, I'm just going to stuff this down, you know, thing anymore.
I love that. Oh my gosh. I did that last night. I had a really long business day yesterday, and literally all day long. And late at night at 11 o'clock, I was looking for the food, and I was so exhausted. I think it was midnight actually. And I was so exhausted, and I was like, I just need to eat something. And there was nothing. I didn't want to make food. And all there was to grab fast was junk food, you know, with my kids. And I was like tearing open a healthy Pop-Tart, which, you know, like the healthier version. And then I thought, wait, I stopped myself. I was like, I do not need to eat this right now. I just go to bed. You know, I just go to bed. So
you definitely learn to have those conversations with yourself. You have to. And I think, like I was telling you last week, where I have learned to control myself at the grocery store, and I just don't bring it home anymore. Like, if I can control myself at the grocery store, I am golden at home.
I love that.
Yeah.
So how do you make that sustainable? I think a lot of people want to know that. How have you been able to sustain that?
You know, for probably 3 years before I joined your program, before we met, I had a big old sign on my refrigerator that said, "Nothing tastes as good as thin feels." And at some point, I felt that, like, it became so real for me. And it's just true. Like, I don't want to go back to feeling like the biggest girl in the room anymore. I don't want to go back to feeling unhealthy. Like, I just didn't feel good all the time. I had aches and pains. Not that I don't get those, you know, still once in a while, but not like I did then. Not just tired all the time and dragged down. I like feeling good. I like eating healthy so that I don't feel sick after I'm done eating. Like, I don't want to feel sick anymore, you know? Like, that is just such a, why do that to yourself? Like, people, you know, people all the time will be here. We get bad food in the office, and they're like, why don't you just one piece of pizza? It's just one, or it's just one cookie. Patients bring me food junk all the time. Like, it's just one's not going to hurt you. And I'm like, it's the just one mentality that causes weight gain. Just one. You just have one of these, and you just have one of those, and the next thing you know, you're 100 pounds overweight again. So no just ones. No just one.
And isn't it interesting? They use that language. It's not going to hurt you.
Yeah.
That's the mentality. You're like, that's not how you view food anymore, right? You've shifted your mindset.
Well, I when I was losing the weight, when people would tell me that you know, they want to share with you. They want you to, I remember, what was it? It was chocolate cupcakes or something. And they were like, oh, come on. I just was like, I finally just lied. I said, I'm allergic. And they were like, oh, okay. And they back off. If they think you're allergic to it, they back off. If they think
leave you alone,
they continue. So then I would finally break down and joke. And I'm like, yeah, it makes me break out in fat. And then they're like, huh?
It makes me break out in fat. That one's good.
Yeah. But they would stop pushing it on me. They would stop pushing it on me if they thought I had an allergy to it.
But I've tried that as well. I've used that at restaurants before. So tell us, how has your transformation positively affected your life, besides the obvious health benefits? But what are all the other ways losing 100 pounds affects your life in a good way?
you learn your worth. I learned my worth with the program, you know, like, don't discount myself. Don't put me on the sale rack anymore. You know, I got out of a 28-year marriage that was not healthy for me, because I just was like, I deserve to be treated nicely. I deserve to feel good about myself, not be emotionally abused anymore. You know, I wanted better. I wanted a better life, and it helped me to go after it. I'm gonna get emotional. I quit a dead-end job that, again, they weren't appreciating me after 18 years. Like, I wasn't going anywhere. It just was not a good place for me anymore, you know, and I was given the opportunity to change that. And that was just a wonderful thing as well. Just in general, like, I am able now to do things that I never thought I could, that I never had the confidence in myself. I thought I needed someone to take care of me, and I've realized that I can take care of myself. Like, it's a very empowering program. You know, not just because I lost the weight, now I know I can do anything I set my mind to, you know. I just keep using the tools that I was given in the program, and I use them over and over. I still listen to my fit sessions, you know, 8 years later, like, and I could tell when I quit for whatever reason, you know, my battery dies on my iPod and I don't charge it. And then, you know, I get off and then I start listening again, and I just feel good. I feel good again. Like, it's my tune up for sure. It keeps me on track.
I love that tune up. That's mindset training, right? It's about dialing your mind into the direction that you're wanting to go.
Right. It's working on the why. Why do I overeat? Why am I sabotaging myself? Why do I just run in circles when I know what I should be doing, you know?
And why did you?
Why did I?
Why were you doing those things? Why were you running in circles? Why were you sabotaging yourself?
I was hiding in that overweight body. I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want anyone to pay any attention to me, because I was afraid that if someone paid attention to me, that they'd want something from me. You know, I really caught onto that one recently. Your program has, not only in my weight loss area of life, or in, you know, the losing the weight, it's helped me to focus in on things that have nothing to do with my weight. Like, the other day I realized that I'm become very self-aware with the stuff in your program, very self-aware. So the other day I realized that I don't ask for help from anybody. Like, I don't like asking for help from anybody, because I realized my ex-husband, the whole time we were married, anytime I asked him for something, it came with a condition. So I don't ask for help from anyone because I don't want the conditions. And I realize now that not everybody's like that. There's not always going to be an agenda, you know, like, well, if I ask you for help, then I'm going to have to do something for it. You know, nothing ever comes for free. So, like, I've become very aware of why I do things now, where I didn't before. Before, you just kind of go through life and you don't care why you do these things. But now I care. Like, now I want to know, why is it so hard for me to ask for help? You know, like, it's okay to ask for help sometimes. So that's just something that like I said, the program has helped me to become aware of why I do certain things in life.
Yeah, who you are.
Which has helped in all areas.
Sure. And that is really what I was after when I created it, was for people to just start to understand themselves better and know why you do what you do, right? Because we get conditioned, and like, you were married, what did you say, 28 years?
28 years, yeah.
Wow. I mean, so there's a conditioning and a programming that goes along with that, especially if it is in an emotionally abusive relationship. Yeah. Where
he was always, you'll be, you know, I was so lucky to have him. No one else would want me, you know, and he was never happy. And I kept trying to make him happy. He complained, just lose some weight. You'll be everything I ever wanted. And then what happened? I lost 100 pounds and he still wasn't happy. He still wasn't happy because he wasn't happy, you know? But I, at some point, just decided I'm going to do what makes me happy. And I'm not hurting anybody doing that. And in doing what made me feel good, the weight started coming off. I wanted to feel better about myself. You have to want to feel better about yourself, you know?
I so agree. I love the moment that I remember all of it, just even though it's been 7 years. Is that what it is? 7 years now? 10 years?
Yeah, June was nice. Yeah.
You said 2010. I remember that year of you, and you were so consistent of dropping the weight. It wasn't some kind of massive unnatural weight loss, you know, where you just lost too much too fast and then you gain it back. That didn't happen at all. It was very consistent, and it was 1 to 2 pounds a week. And then some, you know, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less, but you were just so on point. And we watched you. It was just so amazing because you made it look so easy.
It was easy.
It
was easy.
It was easy? Oh my gosh, did you guys, she just said that. It's easy.
That, I'm telling you, that was the best year of my life. I still tell people that was the best year of my life. Without a doubt. Like, I mean, I've had children, I've had grandchildren, but that year was so uplifting for me, and I had so many amazing moments doing things that I had said I couldn't do. I couldn't run. I can't run. You know, I've done 15 half marathons. Apparently I can run.
Apparently.
But it was the best year of my life, and even in the 7 years that I've maintained my weight, you know, I've had a few little hill up and downs, but it's been pretty easy to maintain it because I know what I've got to do, you know, like I have to keep loving me is what I have to do. And not going back to the self-loathing where I'm ashamed or I have guilt for things that happened to me that were out of my control. I just have to keep loving me. And in doing that, I get to have a great life. I get to have a happy, great life and be fit and go do fun things and just feel good about myself.
Oh,
yeah.
Best thing ever right there. And we're done.
Yeah.
That was amazing. That last line, I think, is like, that was the humdinger.
All right. Love you.
I love you too. Thank you.
Bye.